Hello!
I'd wave, but
Azzy, wave to the people!
there we go.
She's like, Mother, put me down.
That's what she gets for editing the document.
Hello, how's it going? We're here. It feels very weird because I haven't been live in so long.
It's been a time.
Actually, when was the last time I was
Yeah,
live?
'cause it both feels like you've been gone for a long time, but also haven't. I'm very confused.
The 13th was my last live, so 2.5 weeks?
Yeah,
That's not that bad.
no.
But yeah, I figured since I haven't had my Sunday stream in a while, and I won't be having it this upcoming Sunday because I will not be here, I'm like, let's do a pop up. And then I was like, oh, let me invite Crystal. I haven't chatted with Crystal in a while.
I know.
And we have friends. Katie Ann, hello. Jessica and Nina and Anna. Yes, we do in fact have an Azzy here.
Yep.
Thank you. You don't want to see what the other half of the office currently looks like. I showed Crystal a picture. It is bad. But you don't have to see that, so it's fine.
The only world exists is the world that's behind you.
Yep. Exactly. I don't even have legs.
Exactly.
Hello, Keiko. But yeah, long story short, I moved, and the process has taken a lot longer than expected, but I'm here.
Yay! Oh, she's back.
And what is this excuse, Keiko? Not that you need an excuse. You can pop in whenever, but I'm curious. Much like the likes of YouTubers, it doesn't exist.
It's true.
Once again, that Katie and I have the same brain.
I'm just a floating torso. Like, it's fine.
Mm-hmm. Only Azzy is allowed to have legs.
Yep.
As long as one corner is chaos free, it's good.
Yep. Don't you mess with anything else.
Thank you, Anna. I spent way too long doing the bookshelves, and I wasn't going to do a video, but then I'm like, I'm putting in all of this work, so I might as well film it. So at some point this month, I don't remember what day, you'll get a bookshelf organization video, but it's just B-roll. I'm like, I'm not talking to the camera. You're just gonna see what I do.
Yep.
You can't see the top shelf. The top shelf is all of my weird things, like nonfiction and poetry and classics and all that. And then I decided to go by vibe. So I have Rick Riordan and John Flanagan. This shelf is Dark Academia /
Yep.
Dark Academia adjacent, because there are some books on there that are not, in fact, Dark Academia. But I'm like, they look good here. And then horror and paranormal.
Nice.
And then everything from the next shelf down is kind of just by color, and they like the books look good together.
Nice.
So like all of my orangey brown red books are together and like that. So
I love that for you. That's awesome. It's so pretty.
Yeah, I don't like how the bottom couple of shelves look, but you can't see them, so it's fine.
Exactly.
Keiko was taking pictures of newly arrived books.
Woo!
Excited to see them. Fiddling with the Insta filter thingy. Valid. Katie says, my whole room is chaos and I don't even have the excuse of moving, so you're doing better than me. Should clean my bookshelves as well, now that I've cataloged them.
Yeah.
That sounds like a logical next step.
I am already, like, thinking of how I'm going to redesign the space behind me when we get to the new space. Like, okay, what books are going to go where? And is there going to be any of my like decor stuff around it, or the pictures, or
yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It's fine. Everything's fine.
One thing that I did have an issue with is my small brown bookcase is no longer in this room. It's out in the living room and has all of my plushies on it. Ooh. So I lost some storage there, and also this, my little cube thing.
Yeah.
on the other side in the old place. So it was like 3 across and 2 up.
Yeah.
But, you can't see. There's a big ass radiator in the corner. And so it could only get here this way. And so I've lost some of like the top area.
Yeah.
So definitely had to do some finagling with situating things.
Yeah.
Should probably start on my May goal, but I'm stressed right now. Thanks, school. So I might fix my bookshelves, moving books from one shelf to my reading/writing nook.
Ooh.
The reading/writing nook is not actually set up, but bookshelves is step 1.
Yeah.
Hello, Devesha. How are you? And Nina also wants to catalog her books. Jessica says I should 100% finish the projects currently on my standing desk so that all of my office is organized. Because that is my dump share, if you know what I mean.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I have dump tables.
Yeah. you don't have to see that. It's embarrassing. Even though we all do it. I don't need you guys to see that.
Nope. It is not the reality that exists in YouTube.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what are you up to today, Crystal? What you gonna be working on?
I am working on making notes for edit implementation for Project Incarnate. Or actually, no, we're still gonna call it that.
Okay.
Like, do I want to actually like give it its own like book? Like, obviously, still can't tell the title, but I'm definitely working on book 1. But yeah, no, I'm doing edits. So I'm making notes of all the comments and concerns and stuff, throwing them in a Notion document, so then I can go back to it later and actually edit the damn thing. I realize how confusing it is to talk about sometimes when I'm telling people about it, because I'm not actually editing yet. So
You're doing the prep work.
Yes. So it's like there's gonna be those moments where I'm like on someone's stream, like, yeah, I'm working on chapter 9. It's like, wait, weren't you working on chapter 9 a couple of months ago? I thought you said you were done. I'm like, no, because that's what happened on my last draft. It was really funny.
Amazing. I should be writing because I've got the second half of Salvation to write, because for some reason in the first draft I just didn't write the entire second half. I wrote the first chapter after the midpoint, and then everything else is just bullet points. And I'm like, why did I do this? Why did I not finish this draft?
Future you problem. I remember words of, I just don't want to.
Yeah. So I should be doing that because my goal is to write that second half this month. But I don't want to do that. So I'm going to be reading instead, because I have less than 100 pages left of Middle Game by Seanan McGuire, and I am ready to be finished with this book. It's not that I'm not enjoying it, it's just that it's so freaking long that like I'm over it. I'm ready for this book to be done.
Oh no.
Yeah. I think the ebook is technically like 600 pages, but I am blind, so I have to up the font size. So my version of the ebook is 950 pages. Which, like, there's less words per page, so, like, I'm scrolling faster. But, like, this book did not need to be this long. I feel like I've read, like, I think about 80%, and I feel like there's 100 pages worth of stuff that could have been cut.
Ouch.
Like, it did not need to be this long.
Yeah.
And it sucks because I'm coming off of reading a different Seanan McGuire book that I absolutely loved and gave a 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, I have 2 Seanan McGuire books on my TBR. Spoiler alert for Friday's video, I guess, because that's my TBR. I was like, let me read them back to back. Bad idea.
Oof.
Yeah, I'm ready to be finished with this book so that I can start something new and not slog through it.
Yeah, that's fair.
But yeah, it'll look like I'm on my phone during the sprints, but that's because that's where my Libby app is.
Yeah, it makes sense.
I don't know. One time I got a comment on like an old stream. It was like 6 months after the stream happened, and someone is like, "Why are you on your phone the whole time if these are supposed to be productivity sprints?" And I'm like, "Because that's where my ebooks are. I don't know what you want from me."
Like, fight me.
Yeah. So that's what I'm doing.
Sure.
Anna says, I bought a bench to go in our bedroom specifically for us to dump clothes on without guilt. That is so smart.
I love it. I love that.
Mm-hmm. Jessica says, we'll see how much I get done for chapter 23 of Krampus, because it's spicy and I might have to skip it for now.
Ooh.
Gonna work on Project Dying Gods, says Keiko. Have 100 days of Project Dying Gods going on. It goes until July 27th. I only have 2.3k so far.
Yee.
That's 2.3k you didn't have before, so
Yeah, get it.
yeah, if the first half of Salvation is anything to go off of, the second half is going to be about 50k, and yesterday I hit 7k. So
Yee.
we're chugging along.
Yay.
Yeah, that's Sean Maguire has so many series, and the most popular one, at least the one that I've heard the most about, is the Wayward Children series, which is in fact the other Sean Maguire book that I read. It was Every Heart a Doorway, which is the first book in that series, and that's a series of novellas. But all of her other books are like regular length novels. Like I have physically Rosemary and Rue, which is the first in her October Day series, because she's been writing books for like 30 years, so she's got a million series, and that's like a regular length book.
Yeah.
Her pen name, Mira Grant, that's her horror stuff she writes. Those books are really thick. So it's just the one series that she has is novellas.
Gotcha.
What a judgy little so-and-so. Yeah, people in the comments, the audacity that they have sometimes.
They're funny. They are funny.
Mm-hmm.
I don't get them often, but they are funny.
I really like this. She contains multitudes. Yeah. Don't we all as writers?
Yep.
Today is finally addressing my huge admin task list for Katie. I theoretically moved my deadline, so now I have to look at the dreadful emails.
Oh, no. Not the dreadful emails.
Yeah, one of my goals for May is to do like a digital decluttering of all of my different digital spaces, and one of those spaces is emails. I don't have a lot of unopened ones, but I've got a lot of opened ones that I just didn't delete for some reason. I don't know. So I have to go through and see, like, why didn't I delete these? Did I just not hit the button? Did I save it for a specific reason?
Yep.
So that's something I'll be doing this month. Or at least I put it on my to-do list for the month. I don't know if I'll actually be doing it. Miss Katie Ann, you're not allowed to have secret projects. Well, you're allowed to have secret projects because you're under contract, and sometimes you can't talk about things. But if it's not under contract, you're not allowed to have secret projects.
We must know these. If you can't. But then they won't be secret.
Keiko has posted the new books on the Discord, so I will check that out in the first sprint, which we will be getting to shortly.
Yeah.
And Stieg is here. Hello, bird gremlins. I don't know how I feel about that with my cat being called a gremlin. I don't know if I also can be a gremlin.
I'm gonna be a goblin.
I can be a goblin.
But then I just think about the book goblins on Instagram and TikTok.
Oh, I've seen those, yeah.
They're so funny. They give me joy.
I think last summer I started calling myself the AuthorTube Wizard.
I like that.
I don't remember why that happened, but I thought it was really funny. Maybe I'll do that again. Maybe I'll make that part of my official branding.
Yeah, do it.
Don't you hee Katie. Tell us what's going on. How dare you keep non-contractual secrets from us?
Exactly.
Gremlin parentheses species neutral.
I like that.
Mm-hmm. It's not under contract, and I will show y'all when everything is finalized. As a little spoiler, it's fan art for BC related. Very exciting. Know that I am rubbing my hands together like an evil villain.
I can see that.
Yeah, picturing it clearly in my head.
Yep.
Why is Amazon to send stuff in more than one package? The most stable package at two of my books is a bit damaged. Like Sword Heart's dust jacket just not looking so great at the edges. What the heck, Amazon? That's so rude.
Amazon is evil.
Yeah,
I
that
mean,
for a lot of reasons.
Yeah. How dare.
But Wallace's book came completely undamaged. That's good. At
Yay!
least there's that. Steek says, I'm writing today. Got 500 words so far. Almost done with this chapter.
Woo!
And then I only have one chapter left.
Woo!
And then there's only the epilogue left.
Yay!
And then the draft is done.
Woohoo!
Wild.
What is this?
Crazy how when you continue to work on something, eventually you finish it.
That sounds so weird.
Yeah. Looking at you, first draft of Salvation.
Uh-huh.
I still can't believe I did that to myself.
That is funny.
First ever completed draft. We are cheering you on.
Hell yeah.
See, look at all this cheer.
Woo!
And you know what? We will hop into the first sprint so you can get working on that chapter.
Yeah.
What do you mean if I write a little bit every day? The story will be done at some point. And wait, I have to work on stuff to get it done? Why did no one tell me?
Right? It just doesn't make sense.
Yeah. We will be doing a classic Bees Gaze Lavender Haze. See where we go from there. If we want to continue, we will. If we don't, we'll pull the plug.
Mhm.
I should eat.
I mean,
I think Jacob's in a meeting. I'll eat at some point, but probably not this sprint.
You know what you should do is you should have an office snack bin. So that way you can have food.
You're so smart.
Well, because I have one. Okay, it's a little out of frame, but there is a treasure chest right behind me full of snacks. And that is both a help and a hindrance. And it's like, I don't feel like getting up. I'm going to grab a snack from the snack bin.
You're a genius. And yes, if anyone didn't know, Stieg and Anna are going to be streaming at some point on Sunday because they're both going to be finishing their drafts. Or so I've heard.
Does that mean I have more chance to be productive?
Yeah.
Alone?
I might be there on Sunday. I'm not sure because I will be at my parents' place. So I don't know what's going on. But let's just get into a sprint.
Do it.
We're chatting a lot.
Let's do it.
10 a.m. CT. For anyone in CT, that's for you. I don't know time zones.
Yep, no idea.
So we've got the bees.
Bees!
And I'm gonna click play. Because that's how sprints work. I am so out of it. I had to ask Crystal how to share a screen backstage.
Got this. I believe in you.
Oh, 10 a.m. Eastern. Okay.
Nice.
What Anna said. So yeah, we will get started on our first sprint. I will see you guys on the other side of the bees.
Yeah.
Okay, friends. We have finished our first sprint. How'd that go for you, Crystal?
It's going. Making the you thought you could escape from me, but it never really was an escape. Chapter a bit more visceral and dynamic, and I'm sure it's fine. I'm not quite finished yet, and Richard is a smarmy asshole, but we love him.
Which chapter number is this?
This is 13. This is Trapped. When
Okay.
you really hope, but then the hope goes away.
All right. Nice. That sounds like fun.
I wrote a sentence and it disturbed me because, well, like originally, and it was a comment based on what comment you made. It was where it's like he was gulping at, like, he was drinking her blood, but it kind of sounded more like Richard's perspective. So instead of like gulps of blood left her body, I changed it to rhythmic gulping sounds filled her ears. And I'm like,
yeah, no, that's. I love that though. That's so fun. I finished middle game. It is done. I like that Libby tells you how long you've been reading a book. It took me, obviously not continuously, I've been reading it over the past several days, but it took me 11 hours and 48 minutes to read this book. That's too many for one book.
That's like, it doesn't like, I mean, your occasional fantasy will hit the 11-hour mark, but most of the time I read something on Libby, it's like a 6 to 8 hours.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, no, this book was just very dense. And, like, it was fine. I liked the vibes, but the execution, not my thing.
Yeah. That's fair.
Oh, there's so many comments. Where were we?
Woo!
Ah, yes, Katie Ann had to brave her inbox. So how did that go?
Proud of you for whatever you were able to accomplish.
Mm-hmm. Even if that accomplishment was just opening the inbox, even if you didn't check any actual emails, that's still the first step is preparing. And Keiko says, remember to hydrate. I do, in fact, have a glass of water.
Drink some more coffee.
Hey, coffee is still hydrating.
I mean, I do have some zero sugar Gatorade next to me, so, like, it is a choice.
For Keiko, it's 28C or 82F outside. Oh, getting ice cream for the sprint. So valid. I have ice cream sandwiches in the fridge and in the freezer. And I do plan on having one after I do my leaving the apartment errands today.
Yeah.
I feel like I have to check what temperature it is.
Oh my. So right now it is 9 or 49. And it's going to get up to 17 or 63.
That's not too bad.
Yeah.
It is currently 69 Fahrenheit here. Nice. Which is 21C. And it's not going to get much warmer. It'll be 23 in the afternoon or 74 Fahrenheit, which is like not awful, but
for here it'd probably be warmer if it wasn't raining all day, which it is raining all day. So
we're supposed to get the rain this weekend.
Woo!
Apparently there's supposed to be a thunderstorm on Saturday, but I'm not going to be here, so
sad panda.
I'll have to look up what the weather's going to be like where I'm going. Probably not too much different. It's just a couple hours north of here. But
yeah.
Hopefully it doesn't rain on Saturday there, because I think my sister's graduation is outdoors.
Oh no.
Yeah.
I cross my fingers for no rain.
Thank you. Hopefully the universe listens.
Yeah.
We did have Amalin pop in, joining in perfect for a 40-minute.
Hell yes.
Nice. Jessica says, random thing, did anyone here know that Kesha released a slow Smexy song with Lucas Lynn? Because it's actually really good. I did see that Kesha released new music. I just don't listen to Kesha, so I didn't listen to it. But I saw a meme that said Kesha releasing new music is a recession indicator.
Oh no.
The recession indicator meme is so funny to me.
That is that is a thing.
If we didn't laugh, we'd cry.
It's true.
And we had a Michael join us. Hello. Nina says, "What does one track when cataloging books besides title and author?
Mm,
Genre." And Keiko recommends length, format, language, genre, subgenre, publishing years, readership age, and if it's read or unread yet.
dang, look at that.
I would probably mark whether or not it's part of a series because I do read a lot of series.
Yep.
The publisher, if that's something that's important to you to know. I don't know. I don't catalog my books. I should. I have a lot of them.
That sounds like a certain amount of effort that I don't think the spicy level of my brain would allow. But like all the power to everyone else who can. I'm very impressed.
Yeah. Jessica got 564 words for the sprint. Nice.
Woo.
Nina contemplated life, listened to Mystical Magical by Benson Boone on repeat, and started questioning my choice of tracking all my own books. I want to do it, but it seems like a big task. Yeah. I saw a picture of Benson Boone, who I did not know existed until very recently. Apparently, he's a musician, but he was on the cover of some magazine, and the caption was, "I don't think you can pull off a mustache if you shave your chest hair." Because he was shirtless in it, and he did in fact shave his chest, but he had a mustache, and I'm like, honestly, that's so right. I think you need the chest hair to pull off the mustache.
Yeah.
Cataloging the books took Keiko weeks.
Damn.
Steve got another edition of The Hobbit. Every time I'm in a bookstore and I see a pretty edition of The Hobbit, I think of you, Steve. Ooh, it's got a slipcase. Fancy. Yes, please post a picture on the Discord.
Yeah.
Wendy says, excuse me, I hiccuped as soon as I started speaking. I just got here and haven't started yet. I decided that tracking time is the only feasible way to track my work this month, but I'm bad at tracking time, so now I'm procrastinating. That is the biggest mood. I'm also tracking time, and I know it's not going to be accurate. I'm just going to do my best.
Yeah.
It's apparently 24C Justin Keiko's flat.
Your flat is an oven of the not so easy bake variety.
Yeah. It was so hot last night. We cracked open the window and had a fan going, and it was still rough. Gremlin hates that we have a window we can open now in the bedroom. She, barricades herself behind us so she doesn't feel the breeze.
Oh, little buddy.
Mm-hmm. Probably start this and catalog 10 books and then stop. Well, then you can pick it up later and do 10 more books.
Yeah. Cut it up into chunks. Yeah.
Steeg tracks title, author, genre, format, so hardcover, paperback, ebook, language, and then a notes, and then DDC category.
Oh,
is it the Dewey Decimal System? But what would the C be? Dewey Decimal Catalog? I'm assuming that's what it is. I don't know. Call in. And yeah, Keiko also tracks if it's part of a standalone or part of a series, and tracks the length of the series. That's smart. I have that on my series tracker, which I can actually share for you guys if you want to see, because I started a series tracker to keep track of all the series I'm in the middle of reading this year.
Oh, that's cool.
So it's very pretty. It's color coded.
We love color coded. We've discussed this. Color coding is his life.
To be fair, 14 of Nina's books are just different versions of Addie LaRue. Valid. I'm honored to live rent-free in your mind. Don't want to start and then realize halfway through I want to track something new.
Yeah,
Valid.
I've done that. Like, just get into an organized thing. I'm like, wait, this is a way better idea to organize it. Oh, now I have to start all over.
Don't track series because I know if the book is part of a series or not, and the stat has no value to Stieg. Valid. The Dewey Decimals for nonfiction only because I like to see what my nonfiction is. I think I only own like 4 nonfiction books that aren't writing books. So I don't read a lot of nonfiction.
How do I? 30 only.
That's awful.
No, thank you. Pass. I'm out.
Dewey Decimal Classification. That's what the C stands for. Katie Ann finished some of the emails I had to send, responded to some DMs, and now I have the scariest email left, which is exciting, but I'm afraid of being annoying.
You got this. I believe in you.
Extensive nonfiction writing craft books are categorized under 000 computer science information and genre and general works. I can read. That's what I get for scratching my eye while I'm trying to read a comment.
You need your eyes to see, apparently, I guess. Ew.
Oh, wait, 40.6% are part of a series with more than 6 books. Those are some long series. Wendy says I try not to keep my tracking too complicated because I know I wouldn't keep it up. I do not track, but title, author, genre, read or not read, and rating. Maybe format is a good idea, though. Just do the cataloging part and let Anne do the math and sheets and give me pretty stats.
We'd love that.
Longest series is Schooled in Magic, currently on book 27.
Holy crap.
Dang! Nonfiction is just for research about things or music books. Treasury of British Folklore is categorized under 300 for social sciences. Yes, encouragement for Katie. Don't track all the books I own specifically, but I do track all the books I read, and I keep track of the format they're in, like if it's audio, ebook, or an ARC or from KU, etc. That makes sense. I don't use like Goodreads or anything like that anymore. All of my tracking is just in my reading journal, and in that I keep track of like format and stuff like that. This year I should have tracked whether it was a library book or not because I did get a library card, but I did not think of that. So maybe next year I'll add that stat.
I'll openly admit, much like how few I read, I don't track. I track what books I want to read. That's as far as my tracking goes.
Fair. Wendy is not having an easy time of tracking what she reads. The math and formatting alone took me 2 weeks and frustration because everything I saw on YouTube and the sheets from other booktubers weren't working. And then I had to learn that formatting in Google Sheets is different in German than in English because the formulas are written differently.
Oh, no.
Ooh. Yeah, that sounds not fun.
Nope.
Yeah, I liked Goodreads for a while, but then when I started keeping a reading journal, I'm like, why would I keep track in multiple places? That's redundant.
Yeah. Makes sense to me.
I'm going to pull up my series tracker because I can.
Do it.
Where do I have it? I'm already logged in. Where do I have this?
I cannot stop yawning. I'm so sorry.
Oh, goodness. More comments came in.
Yep.
Yeah, that does sound like a nightmare. Made my home library tracker in Notion, and I had a blast. So easy once you decide what you want to track. And Malin uses Pagebound, but also Goodreads. Made a read/unread tick box column, so it's easy to tick off what I've read.
Ooh, that's satisfying.
Yeah, that's fair, Keiko. The difference is I put all the Kindle Unlimited trash I read on Pagebound too, so I can tell how many books I actually read. Still get serotonin from the Goodreads challenge page, but I do have my sheet that I keep better track of, and also to keep me off of Goodreads because I'm not allowed on there. I need a reading tracker where only friends can see my comments.
Yes.
And Nina also uses Pagebound. Fun. So the only thing I keep digitally is my series tracker, which is here. And it's pretty colors.
Ooh.
So I have it sorted by how long the series are. So all of these are duologies, trilogies, which trilogies is the longest category. I'm in the middle of so many. And then it goes all the way up here. And I kept the last one I keep track of separately is 7, and then this category is for anything from 8 to 12 books in the series, and then anything with more than 12 gets its own column. So like I have Ice Planet Barbarians and Animorphs
Nice.
are currently the longest. And then I just tick them off when I've read them. And when I've read the whole series, I delete it because I know what series I've read. I don't need it clogging this up.
Nice.
Yeah.
That is very nifty.
I started at the beginning of this year, and I was like, why did I not do this sooner?
I love it.
Thank you. I put some effort into it. Stieg says 208 books, 208 unique books across 71 unique authors. I've read 53.846% of my home library collection.
Damn.
Ah, fun. I wish I had a percentage because I do keep my. I don't read a lot of ebooks that I own. If I buy an ebook, and by buy I mean I usually wait until it's free and then just download it, I will not read it. Like all of the ebooks I read are from the library. But like physically, I do separate out the books that I haven't read. You can't see, but I have my TBR cart. And I just bought 10 more books at the library book sale. So my TBR cart is currently at maximum capacity. I'm not allowed to buy any more books until I read some of the physical books I own.
I mean, that is fair.
It is very colorful. I enjoy it. Although I've run out of the columns that Google has when you click to like color in a cell. I just went down the columns, so if I have to add another one, I have to go back and use the same one I've already used.
No.
Yeah, or I have to finish some long series, which not happening anytime soon. Keiko tried to track how many books in a series I still have to read, but the formatting almost made me throw my laptop out the window, so I stopped. Yeah, I don't do formatting. Starting the organizing and cataloging with my Addie LaRue shelf. Addie LaRue shelf. Sad to take it down. Got there.
Woo!
Jessica's physical TBR sheet is so basic, but it works for me. I haven't read a book in a while, though, so I am behind. I'm so bad with reading while writing, and I'm, like, always writing.
Yep. My TBR is still right here where it has been. Physically untouched.
Mm-hmm.
But, yeah.
Keiko has 150 unread books. I'm not allowed to buy any books for a while. Once I've cataloged all my books, I will know how many unread books I have, and I don't want to know. And Steve's goal is to never drop below 50% of read books on the shelf. If I had to guess, I'd say my unread books are somewhere between 10 and 15%. Because I think I have 30-something unread books. And I had about 300 books, but I did just do a massive unhaul, so I don't know how many books I have left. Maybe I'll count my books in the next sprint. We'll see. I'm definitely going to get food during the next sprint.
Food good. Food's very good.
I'm going to get food. I'm going to do my journal spread for middle game since I just finished it. And then maybe count my books. We'll see.
Yeah.
I take it you're just going to continue on writing?
Yep.
Well, note taking?
I'm almost finished chapter 13. Hopefully I can get finished chapter 14 by the time we're done. So even like if I do 2 chapters a day, I feel good about myself.
Yeah, that's good
I'll do
progress.
more.
I found that there were 2 series I was able to read while writing, and they were the last 2 that I've read at all. I don't even want to think about my unread book percentage. That's between my books and John. Yeah, didn't you
Yeah.
buy like 40 books while on tour with Wallace? You got so many, and I was like, girl, the percentages.
I don't even want to think about how many of these books aren't read. I'm pretty sure it outweighs what has been read. And probably will never, like, there's all the Christian or Christine Fian books. Never gonna read them, so it's always gonna be like 12 to 15 books of unread ever.
Mm-hmm. I was thinking about doing a read all the books I own or declutter them project for 2026.
Ooh.
I'm here for it. You
That
have
feels
to
like-
document it.
Yes.
Take us along for the ride.
Proof it didn't happen.
Oh yeah, we'll go with 40 books. Yeah, you don't have to tell us the number, Katie. It's okay. And these are the series that Jessica has been able to read while writing.
Nice.
Okay, I'm tired of hearing myself talk, so we're gonna start.
Alrighty. Let's do it. Let's do it.
Can you hear the person revving their motorcycle outside?
No.
Okay, that just scared the crap out of me. Our new place, my office is at the front of the house, so it's like on the street, and I'm still getting used to it.
Street sounds. Ew.
What is the next timer? We did the bees.
Do the gays.
Gays. Don't start yet. I didn't put you on the screen. Okay. This one is 30 minutes.
Woo!
We're gonna get going on it.
Yeah.
I'll see y'all when we come back.
Yay.
That was the end of sprint number 2. Take your time, Crystal. I did want to point out this comment that Michael made just as the sprint was starting. I'm currently the proud owner of Leftover Pizza is the funniest sentence I've ever read.
I kind of love that.
So how is that?
It's going well. I'm now on chapter 18. I only had like 2 comments to look at chapter 14. 13 only had like 2 comments left before when the sprint started, so I finished that.
Gotcha.
So I'm somewhere in chapter 14 where the shenanigans is happening, but now it's on Elizabeth's perspective as the net and the things happen. So I also had to re-describe what's happening to her to make it a bit more dramatic, and I had hubby help me because I'm just like, how do I make this just more awful?
Yeah.
And then we went over the lore, and it's like, okay, so technically in my universe, when it comes to silver, it's skin contact. So the clothes work. So I have to make sure that like it's her exposed skin and stuff and things.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like, well, she's not wearing a hat or anything, is she? I'm like, no. She's like, so what's happening to her hair? And I'm like, oh dear.
Oh god, the hair getting all caught up in it and like I'm imagining it and I'm having a bad time. I cannot wait to see the finished scene.
Woo! Such a time.
Yeah. I had a snack. I couldn't make anything because Jacob is still in a meeting. Or in a new meeting? I don't actually know. So I just grabbed the tortilla chips and had those. And then I did my spread for middle game. That's this bottom section. This top section is for Every Heart a Doorway, which, yes, I read in April, but I'm counting it towards May because time is fake and I don't care.
Yes. 100%. Time is what we make of it. Everything's on fire.
Yeah. So right. So that's what I've been doing. And I did do the actual spread, but now I have to like check off my thing here and do my front tracker pages. I don't know if I have to check it off of anything there, but I'm gonna flip to it and see. I don't remember where this book is listed. Nina says the shelf looks less pretty than the other shelf because this one's smaller, but I'll figure this out. I have too many pretty editions I want/need to display.
Yep.
And we have another hydrate reminder from Keiko. Appreciated.
Woo!
Stieg made dinner, currently eating, and posted a lot of photos in the Discord of the Illustrated Deluxe Edition. I didn't check those out. I'll have to check them out. Jessica got 12 words, and then the kiddo came over and started reading the letters off my screen of some dirty words, so we switched to crocheting.
Fair. Oh no.
Yeah.
This is why I'm like secretly glad that like there are no small mini humans around me, related or unrelated, because some of the scenes that I have written, whether it be spicy like Immortal Masquerade or absolutely terrifying like it is over here, like I don't want to scar mini humans.
And Malin updated Best Friends Save the Date to its final version and wrote 200 words. Nice! Very productive. I love when they walk in on a spicy scene. My youngest is 16, and honestly, it's worse because she'll actually understand it.
No! Oh no!
Oh, jeez, that is rough.
I'm gonna put another one on the list. I am very glad that my oldest family, like cuz like directly close to my age, is like early 20s now at this point. But then again, I think anytime anybody reading over my shoulder spicy things that could understand it is also terrifying the more I think about it out loud. There's existential dread.
It's fine. You're not working on that right now. Nina figured out spreadsheet and started cataloging the Addie LaRue books, done with the English editions, and now on to translations. How many different translations do you have? I don't know why I paused, as if you could respond, Nina. In the chat.
Oh, I love it.
Unfortunately, this was a meeting where he had to actually partake and not just listen to people talk. So, wait, Rachel Berry can read? She can read some things, but she recognizes letters. She doesn't understand the words yet, but she loves to have me type out and spell words for her. So,
Aww, that's so cute.
that is really cute. Just, also terrifying.
Yep.
That's cute and really great. It'll help her learn to read. Just maybe not the smut.
Maybe
Yeah,
not the smut.
yet. Hello, we have JK here. Welcome. How's it going? What are you working on today? Crystal is taking notes on edits to make, and I am doing a bunch of random shit right now. My reading journal, because I just finished a book.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, then rude of his job. In that case, how dare they?
Right?
Yeah.
You need to respect your need for snacks.
Yeah. I was gonna have a bowl of cereal, but I'm like, that's gonna be really loud to be pouring like 2 feet off to the side. Nina has 3 German editions, and then 1 Spanish, 1 Dutch, and 1 French.
That's cool.
A nice little spread there. I really like Shirin J. Zhao in the background of all their videos is just all of the different language editions of Iron Widow.
Yep.
And I think it looks really cool.
Yeah.
And Wendy's supposed to be working on the small town romance, but so far I haven't been able to start. Have you opened the document, Wendy? The first barrier to entry.
Got this.
I count them all as read, even though I only read the English one. I do not speak French at all, have terrible Duolingo knowledge of Dutch, and barely any school Spanish recollection. That's fair. I feel like you know the story. So, like, even if you didn't read it in that language. Very disappointing considering how well the last several days went and how I was laying in bed thinking about writing before I actually got up. Yeah. You'll get there. It's... I'm trying to do math. 9 a.m. for you? Like, you have the whole day ahead of you.
Yeah.
You are fine. The document is open.
Woo!
Stieg has The Hobbit in 9 different languages. Ooh.
Shenanigans.
That's so fun. I have 1 book in a different language. Oh, I can't lean that far or I'll unplug the headset.
Yep, I want
Let
that.
me not do that. It's A Little Something Different by Sandy Hall, who is a writer from my hometown, and I got to meet her in high school because she worked at the local library because we're from the same hometown. And she did like a book signing thing. And when she heard that some of us were taking Italian in school, she's like, "Oh well, my book was published in Italian. I can give you guys copies if you want." And so I just have that. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna do with it. I don't know, but it's just on my shelf. It's Who I Strive to Be with Addie LaRue. And Steve has it in Norwegian, English, German, Finnish, Irish, Spanish, Danish, Latin, and Breton? Is that how that's pronounced? I've never heard that word out loud. I've only read it in a book. My worst nightmare is having to read a word out loud for the first time.
Right. Ah.
Mm-hmm. Getting the Scottish Gaelic this summer when I'm on holiday in Edinburgh. Ooh. A new addition. Double digits of languages. That's very exciting. I love that for you. All right. I do have the Lavender Haze timer pulled up if we want to get going on that. Get going. I'm glad I'm not writing because clearly I can't do words right now.
What's wrong with an occasional extra S that doesn't make sense in random places? She asks, as she's noticed that come up a few times. Or capitals.
Yeah, the random capitals are my favorite because sometimes it like seemed like on purpose, and I was like, did you mean this? Because it's not capital over here.
Nope. Nope. It's just occasionally I just tapped the shift and kept going and not noticed.
Can't speak a word of Breton, I'm gonna assume is how it's pronounced. But fun fact, my French family is from. I'm not gonna attempt that one.
Nope.
I apologize. But French Brittany. Love that. I also don't speak a word of it, but it sure does look pretty.
That's all that matters.
Yeah.
Pretty things for book. We're like dragons hoarding gold. Let's be freaking honest.
Mm-hmm.
Just all of the pretty. Okay.
Exactly. Want to get one in Italian. I wonder. This is something I could very easily Google. I was going to say, I wonder how many languages has The Hobbit been translated into? Because then you can get a new percentage to keep track of. How many languages has The Hobbit been translated into? This says, according to Elrond's library, which I don't know what that is, it says there's 125 translations in 69 languages. Nice.
Nice.
So I guess there's different translations in the same language for a lot of them. That's interesting.
Neat.
Tolkien Gateway lists even more, with many collectors documenting their own collections of translations.
That's nifty.
Oh, I see. There's been revised translations, and that's why there's 125 different translations, but only in 69 languages.
Damn.
That makes sense. And The Lord of the Rings has 87 different translations across 57 languages.
Wow. It's impressive.
That's so many.
So very many.
The Norwegian one has 3 different translations. Ooh, do you have all 3? Call in. Oh yeah, understandable.
I don't even want to think about it.
Part of my senior year Italian was we had to do a translation project because we had taken Italian for 4 years, and it's like, this is the culmination of all your knowledge. So pick some Italian literature and do some translating. It was not fun. I did not.
The only way I think I've talked about this before, but the only way I passed French was because I had.
Hello? Did Crystal freeze or did I freeze?
Are we back?
Was it you?
I think it was both of us because we both had the spinny wheel of death.
Oh.
For a minute.
Oh, I didn't get it on my end.
That was weird. No. So I had the only reason I did so well in French was because I had a teacher in a different course, and they felt so bad because I was doing so well in their other course. They're like, "This is going to bring your grade down so badly. Take this pass and never think about French again." And then I took Latin. I think it was that same year, and I don't know why, because I got a sweet 30 in that class.
Oof. That's rough.
Oh, it was bad. Crystal does not do languages.
No, neither do I. My brain is just not wired for it. I think it's partially auditory processing because I don't pick up on accents very easily because my brain doesn't like interpret things. So if I'm not picking up on something being said, like Italian, I like did it for enough years that I got used to it, but like hearing other languages and hearing sounds that we don't have in English is just so hard for me to like mentally compute what I was even hearing.
Yep.
So yeah, I am not a language oriented person.
No. Nope.
Stieg says the OG one was translated by 2 different people. Then there's a revised Norwegian one and one in New Norwegian, which is my dialect. I didn't know there was New Norwegian. I'm missing the one in New Norwegian, but it's on the list. Nice.
Sweet.
Cataloged all the editions while chatting. Nice. Now onto the V.E. Schwab shelf. It's a separate shelf with even more books, so wish me luck.
Good luck.
You got this. Translating from Japanese to German. Yeah, Japanese adds a whole nother thing into it because they've got a different alphabet. And doesn't Japanese have 3 different alphabets? Am I making that up? They have more than one. I think it's 3. So, yeah. When you add different alphabets into things, it just makes things even more complicated. I think I could ace Norwegian to English and vice versa. Try it. Make your own translation of The Hobbit.
Do it.
We were not allowed to know that story.
Yeah. Apparently it was me.
Nina hated Latin. Stieg loves linguinis, had English and German in high school, and would love to learn Italian. I enjoy languages. I think it's fascinating, like hearing other people speak it. I just am hopeless when it comes to learning, especially on my own. Like once I graduated and stopped taking formal classes in Italian, I like lost everything.
Yeah.
Malin enjoys Latin, did 7 years of it.
Years, holy shit.
That's so many.
I barely survived one.
Hated Greek, gave up after 1 year. A whole new alphabet. Excuse me? I can't. Exactly.
Yep, fair.
Took French in school, and I saw my former French teacher a few years ago, and he was so disappointed that I didn't keep up with it after high school. It's made up of kanji, katakana, and hiragana. The latter 2 are syllable-based ones you can learn in like 2 weeks. Okay.
Ah.
So not like an entirely different alphabet system, but like kind of. I can read Korean. I learned the alphabet for Korean very easily. I just don't know what the words mean. It's once I try and pick up the words, it was a struggle because the Korean alphabet is very phonetic, but I just don't know the vocabulary, which is kind of the important part. Norway has 2 written languages, one derived from Danish because we were under Denmark at some point, called Book Norwegian, and one called New Norwegian, which was created by a dude who traveled around Norway and collected words from all the different dialects and made a language from it.
That's cool.
That's really interesting. One of my fun facts is that there are a lot of Italian American communities in the United States who speak dialects of Italian that don't exist in Italy anymore because Italy was unified in the 1860s, and it was at that point that the language was unified. So the Italian language as you know it today comes from Florence, and all of these other dialects have kind of like died out over the years, but not all died out, but like a lot of them aren't really spoken anymore.
Mhm.
But immigrants who moved to the United States before the unification brought their different dialects with them.
That is really cool.
Mm-hmm. You explain that better than Wikipedia.
Neat.
Only had to do 5 years of Latin. It was 5 years too many. Going through my saved TikTok recipes to decide which one I should make tonight, and I'm gonna go buy ingredients in 15 minutes.
Do it.
This comment was made 2 minutes ago, so we will get the sprint started for you to go on your shopping trip.
Yeah.
I also learned the Korean alphabet easily and then forgot it all even more easily. Yeah, it's so when you don't keep up with things, they just like goodbye.
Can see you later.
Same for Nina. Oh my god, they're jumping.
You're good. You're still there.
I was trying to learn so I can eat while watching Korean shows, and now I have to look up every second. That is so relatable.
Mood.
Hiragana used to be the written language of women, kanji/Sino-Japanese language of men, and official docs, and katakana, I think, has its origin with monks.
Mhm.
Ooh, interesting.
That's cool.
Have Sami? Is that how that's pronounced as an official language? Steve will correct me if I pronounce things wrong.
Yeah.
Germany has like 42 different dialect branches or something. That's so
Wow.
many. Got 3 extra vowels in there. I did get to correct Jacob on the pronunciation of something because it had the O with the slash in it. I don't know what that letter is actually called. But he like was pronouncing it as a normal O, and I'm like, no, that's not correct. That's one thing that I do know. I only said 15 because that's when work finishes. Oh, fair enough. Oh gosh. I love when I talk to Anne in German and she just does not understand me sometimes because Austrian German, specifically Viennese for me, is more different than people assume.
Wow.
And yeah, German also has some extra letters going in it. Because the umlauts, yep.
Yep.
Steve did 6 years of German.
Impressive.
I know a random smattering of German because my ancestry is very German, and unlike me, my mother is very good at learning languages, and she taught herself German when she was a kid. So, like, my mother speaks German. She's visited German family. I've, like, I guess FaceTimed. I don't know what the non-Apple word is for it because it wasn't on an Apple device. Video chatted. There we go.
Yeah.
With, like, German family. I've been to Germany myself. I did not speak the language very well, but, like, I have vague knowledge of it, but I would not say I speak German.
Yeah. I have a smattering somewhere in my brain where sometimes it shows up and I'm like, hey, I know that.
The best is when you do talk in standard High German, and then the dialect words for stuff comes in. You have to look up the translation into standard German.
I think it was like I had my grandmother spoke a lot of High German, and her partner would occasionally flip between High German and another dialect as they spoke. So no one else really understood, but she was able. They end up having like their own like language to like understand each other when they started speaking German to each other, which was the cutest freaking thing on the planet.
Yeah, I don't know what dialect my German family speaks. They come from Stuttgart and that area, so I'm assuming it like that's the region that they would speak.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love German. I think it's so cool. Like it sounds so pleasing in my ears.
Yeah.
I feel that because I don't understand Quebecois. Sure, that probably almost was pronounced correctly. Sometimes, even though it's technically French.
Quebec French. It's Ontario
Yeah.
French.
I understand. I'm also part Canadian, Crystal.
I keep forgetting. I'm sorry.
Although technically my grandmother, who is the one from Canada, she does have a little bit of French Canadian, but most of her ancestry is Scottish. Fun fact.
Nice.
Yeah, but she speaks Canadian French because that's where she grew up. Not in like the really French part, but like
Just the off to the side.
yeah, she's
That's
from
exactly what you're talking
about. Scandinavia has an indigenous group called the Sami people, and they speak Sami.
Oh, cool.
I'll have to look into that. That's interesting. I love learning things. A bunch of German dialects sound so cute. If they talk angry, they don't seem angry because it sounds too cute. I used to have a job where I did job posting moderation, and they specifically had me placed in the Canadian queue so I could read the Quebecois.
I love it.
That's so funny. The amount of words I've learned that aren't High German but Austrian and some also used in Bavaria is scary. I thought they were just regular old German words. Yay. The majority of Germans cannot understand Swabian? Is that how that's pronounced? I hate saying things out loud for the first time. Don't ask around in Germany what buns are in the different dialects. You have another 30-year war.
Oh no.
Oh my gosh. Nina, you can't use actual full German words. I don't actually speak the language. Okay. I'm all caught up now. Interesting.
Oh.
Was I taught Quebecois in school? No, I was taught by an Irish guy who learned French in France.
See, I don't remember which French we learned in school, but I remember my mother making a stink whether or not it was real French or Quebec French. That's what she called it. And I have no idea because it was like Parisian French and then whatever the hell we speak here.
I have a friend who was studying for a French degree, but she was going for like an overall linguistics degree in college, but she was specifically studying different French dialects. So she spoke like France French, Canadian French, and the one that she struggled the most with was French Creole.
Ooh.
And I'm like, girl, I can barely keep one language, like one version of a language straight in my head. The fact that you're learning all of this.
I do know French Creole is neat, but it is a time.
Mm.
That's what I've heard anyway.
Michael, I can't. I cannot say things. You've heard me this whole stream. You know that I'm barely able to pronounce English words. Oh, there's no translation because it's a name. Gotcha. Oh, he spoke English, Gaelic, French, Spanish, and Japanese. That's so many. I'm so jealous.
Impressed and terrified of anyone who can speak more than one.
I love this little side conversation that Nico and Nina are having. Oh, that's so funny. It sounds so farmer. Keiko is trilingual, which is so impressive.
Yeah.
All right. I think we should get going on our third sprint.
Yes.
We got, of course, the Lavender Haze. So I'm going to press play, and we're going to watch the haze drifting, the little fishies swim by. Michael, that's so mean. But, like, it's really funny. All right. I'm going to press play, and we'll see you guys on the other side of the sprint.
Yes.
Get to work. And that was the end of our third sprint. How'd that go for you, Crystal?
Chapter 18 is done.
And 14?
Huh? What'd I say?
You keep saying 18.
I don't know why. I really don't. 18 is so far away from here.
Mm-hmm.
No, chapter 14 is done. Both the cavalry and the bad guy are on their way. And yeah, changing things a little bit. Like, I don't want to change, because there was a part where it's like, you totally know that the bad guy could have interrupted the reveal at any time. And it's just like, but also the readers need to know that there's something coming that's very, very, I need the setup. I need the setup to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Even though the bad guy, he would shut that shit down fast. I'm like, this is technically for the reader. So I changed it to hopefully kind of make both happen.
That's fair.
Let's see.
I finished the journaling stuff that I was doing, and then I counted my books, and I own 348 books total, 35 of which are unread. So just slightly over 10%. It's 10.05% unread.
Damn.
So I'm happy with that.
Yay.
And then I looked at my to-do list, didn't want to do any of it, so instead I started planning content for June because I had a bunch of stuff that I wanted to do in like April and May, but then I like made my upload schedule less. Instead of doing a vlog and a video every week, it's one or the other.
Mhm.
So like I already had these ideas for videos. I'm just putting them in the calendar.
Nice.
Yeah, I messed up my calendar and started it on the wrong day, so I did have to go back in and retype all of the numbers by one day. So that's annoying, but
No.
that's fine.
Oh, I also inhaled. Hubby made mac and cheese like while we were talking, so I got to inhale me some shell craft dinner.
Yum. I am getting tired. I think that was our last sprint, if you agree.
Hey, I just finished a chapter. It's perfect. I think I would, if we did do another sprint, I'd probably be on my phone or doing something else because, yeah, I just finished the chapter.
I'm glad we're in agreement. I'm ready to not look at a screen for a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Where did I leave off? Oh, yes, we did have a friend join us. Hello, Jen. Working today and listening to Iron Flame. How about an hour left? So close.
Nice.
Are you enjoying it? I've heard Iron Flame has mixed reviews. People either really, really like it or really, really hate it. I haven't read anything from that series, so I can't comment. I think I will reorganize the Addie LaRue shelf, but I'm pretty happy with how the V.E. Schwab shelf turned out. But then, disaster. I just realized there will be a new V.E. Schwab book soon. Where do I put it? There is no space.
Oh no.
Rough. That is rough. That's me with my, this one. Rick Riordan. I have books stacked on the top because he fits so perfectly across one shelf. What's Assy up to? Uh-oh. Yeah, it fits so perfectly across one shelf, and then Rick put out more books, and I'm upset about it. So now I have to have them stacked like that, and it's ugly, but I don't care. Eventually, he'll have enough books that he can get 2 shelves, but not anytime soon. For Katie, that was a lunch sprinto, and now I'm so sleepy and want a nap. I also would like a nap. You good, Crystal?
Yeah, there's this like, I don't know what to call it. It's like a divider. It's supposed to be a room divider that we've never used. As he was chewing on it, I'm like, what the hell is that sound?
That sounds about right.
It's like, hubby's like, I could have done that. And I'm like, yeah, I probably would have been better, but I did it because moment did thing.
Mm-hmm.
Rat child.
Stieg spent that time contemplating his final chapter. I don't know the scene staging of it, and I don't know what to do about it. Journal? plot out the different options and pick which one you like the best.
She has come to suck up now.
Hello, buddy. You gotta stop being mean. You gotta behave yourself.
Yeah. Supposed to be a well-behaved lady. Got a little monster butt. Ugh.
Keiko says, I need dinner, and the heat make me feel so exhausted, so I'm just sitting around. That's so fair.
Mood.
I also feel so tired when it's hot. Just don't want to do anything. Nina also had dinner that sprint. Thank you. I get overwhelmed easily, so if it was any more than that, I would just be like, Mullen came back from the grocery shop. This is Jen's first real fantasy, and I'm listening to the graphic audio, and it's pretty fantastic. I liked Fourth Wing better, but that's okay. This one is still good. Starting Onyx Storm this afternoon. Ooh. I know Wallace listened to the graphic audio for Fourth Wing and Iron Flame, so I've heard good reviews about the audio specifically. I have heard of this readathon that's going on. I didn't watch any announcement video because I'm like, I don't have time for any readathons. So, but I have heard that it's going on. And Onyx Storm is the first book Jen's reading for that challenge. So that's fun. Nina's also decided which shelf will be my People I Know shelf. I don't have enough for that, but I do have them facing out. I can move out of my way. Right here, this dark black void that you can't tell what it is, that's the special edition of Wallace's book.
Nice.
And then Anne's are... Nope, other side. Anne's down on this shelf, but like behind my chair, you can't see. So, I think those are the only books I know. Books by people I know. Books I have. No, I lied. Laura's on the top shelf because it's an anthology, so it's on the anthology section.
Yeah,
I think that is it, though, until Katie comes along. I have no idea what shelf Backhanded Compliments is going to go on.
Yeah.
I'll figure that out when I get there.
Backhanded Compliments is going to be such a weird read for me because it's not anywhere near my wheelhouse, but it's also Katie's book, so therefore I feel like I must. I have a romance shelf. It's that where you see that pink line.
Mm-hmm.
It's there, but like all those romances are fantasy / paranormal romances.
Mm-hmm.
So, we'll
yeah,
see.
I recently bought Barbarian Alien. That's this book facing out, and I'm like, I don't know where to put this because I didn't make a sci-fi section, and I don't own a lot of romance books. I own like books that have romance in them, but they're not romance books. So I obviously don't have a section for that. So I'm like, aliens are close enough to paranormal. I could just put this on the paranormal shelf.
Yeah. I mean, you can actually kind of see every romance book I have. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then down here is the Christian Fian shelf, which is technically romance, but she gets her own shelf because there's so goddamn many books.
Understandable. Keiko's doing Shauna's Escape-a-thon. It's just a week, but I'm looking forward to it.
Ooh.
Fun. I love readathons, but sometimes I'm like, I just gotta not overdo myself.
Yep.
And Keiko says I can't really organize my shelf by genre because the big heavy hardcover ones have to go on the bottom of the shelf because the board's are already bending.
Oh no.
Understandable. Yeah, luckily my bookshelves they're staying strong despite the number of times I've moved them. They're dinged, they're chipped a little bit in places, there's some scratches, but they're sturdy, and that's what matters.
Excuse you.
This is very fair. It will go on the TBR spot first.
Yeah.
But I plan on reading it like immediately when I get it. Not like immediately, but
yeah.
I don't want it to languish on the TBR shelf. I want to read it when I get it. So then I have to figure out where it's going.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, she is being the most right now, just off camera, getting all of the chin scritches because she's like, I don't want to be on camera right now, but you still have to pet me.
I love her so much.
She's being so dramatic right now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I think we can call it now. We've gotten through the comments. We've done 3 sprints. Got some good work done. So thank you all for showing up and hanging out. And of course, as soon as I'm talking, a bus is driving by.
God dang it.
Very rude. Do we have anything to promote?
I'll be streaming on Saturday at noon Eastern Daylight Time. I learned that that's actually what it is right now. So I've been trying really hard to get myself into saying it.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be productivity, more of this, but all by myself, unless someone wants to come hang out.
Unfortunately, I will be at my sister's graduation at that exact moment.
Sad enough. But yeah, no, I'll be doing that Saturday. And then on Monday, 12 p.m. again, we'll be doing some Veilguard. We'll be doing some gaming and having some fun.
I still have to catch up on the VODs of that. I'm so behind.
You're not that behind. It's only 2 episodes.
Yeah, but that's like 6 hours.
That's true. That is true. I'm sorry.
And I won't be able to see Monday, so that's another 3 hours.
I'm sorry.
It's fine. I'll pop them on when I have to do like a lot of cleaning and stuff.
There you go.
Keep me company. Do I have anything to promote? I won't be streaming this weekend again, but next weekend, hopefully. So the 11th, I should be back to my normal Sunday night streams, which are at 6 p.m. Eastern. Supposed to be every week. Sometimes life gets in the way. But yeah, it's been fun. Thank you all for showing up. Got some thank yous. Ooh, Keiko's gonna go to the stream.
Woo! Hell yeah!
Didn't get anything done, but it was nice to see you all. It was nice having you, as always.
Yay! Much appreciated. Thank you.
So yeah, I have to push the buttons. Nope, that's the wrong section. That's where my outro is. Thank you all for hanging out, and we'll see you guys at some point in the future.